Welcome back to my channel. Rain dripped steadily through the cracked roof of Ethan Carter's tiny garage on the edge of town. The old building looked forgotten by everyone except the man who unlocked its rusted doors every morning before sunrise. Ethan wasn't just a mechanic. He was a single father raising his 10-year-old daughter, Lily, after losing his wife years earlier. Money was always tight. Some weeks he had to choose between buying better tools or buying groceries. But Ethan had made one promise to Lily. No matter how hard life gets, he always said, we never stop working honestly. One Monday morning, a convoy of shiny black trucks stopped outside his garage. People from nearby shops walked outside to watch. Leading the convoy was Victor Harrington, the billionaire CEO of Harrington Motors. Victor stepped out wearing a perfectly tailored suit. He looked around the tiny garage and laughed. So this is the famous mechanic people keep talking about. Ethan calmly wiped grease from his hands. What can I do for you? Victor smiled sarcastically. I've got 30 junk cars sitting in my company's storage yard. Insurance wrote them off. Scrap dealers won't even pay much for them. He looked Ethan up and down. I figured a man like you might enjoy playing with trash. His assistants laughed. Victor continued. I'll dump every one of those useless cars here. Free of charge. Everyone expected Ethan to refuse. Instead, he surprised them. I'll take every single one. Victor raised an eyebrow. You actually want them? Ethan nodded. Yes. Victor laughed even harder. Perfect. At least they'll finally be out of my sight. Within hours, flatbed trucks unloaded dozens of damaged vehicles. Broken sports cars. Flood-damaged SUVs. Classic muscle cars with destroyed engines. Luxury sedans missing electronics. To everyone else, it looked like a mountain of worthless metal. Neighbors whispered. Poor guy. His garage is finished. That scrap pile will bankrupt him. Even Lily looked worried. Dad, are these really junk? Ethan smiled. No. What are they? He looked across the yard. They're opportunities. That night, after Lily finished her homework, Ethan inspected every vehicle one by one. He didn't see broken cars. He saw usable frames. Perfect transmissions. Rare engines.
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Enjoy the video.
Collectible parts. Hidden treasures. Years of experience allowed him to notice details that most people ignored. Several insurance companies had declared the car's total losses because repairs would cost more than replacement. But Ethan wasn't planning to repair them the expensive way. He planned something much smarter. Over the next several weeks, the tiny garage became busier than ever. Ethan worked 18 hours a day. Sometimes he slept only 3 hours. Lily helped organize bolts, label parts, and clean tools after school. Slowly, impossible things began happening. One damaged luxury SUV donated its engine to another. 3 wrecked sports cars became one perfect collector vehicle. 2 flooded classics provided enough original parts to rebuild another rare model. Nothing was wasted. Every bolt had value. Every wire had purpose. One afternoon, an elderly collector visited the garage. I heard someone restored a 1969 classic that insurance declared impossible. Ethan opened the garage door. The collector froze. The car looked factory new. How much? Ethan calmly answered. $145,000. Without negotiating, the collector shook his hand. I'll take it. That single sale paid off every debt Ethan had. News spread quickly. Collectors arrived from neighboring states. Restoration experts couldn't believe what they saw. People started calling Ethan the miracle mechanic. Meanwhile, Victor Harrington heard rumors. Impossible rumors. The junk cars are selling. Victor laughed. Impossible. A week later, his assistant entered the office carrying several reports. Sir, we've confirmed everything. Victor stopped smiling. What? The mechanic rebuilt 22 vehicles. So? They've already sold. For how much? The assistant hesitated. Almost $6 million. Victor stood up. What? He grabbed the reports. Every number was real. Collectors were paying premium prices because Ethan's restorations were flawless. Victor couldn't believe it. Those were the same cars he'd considered worthless. His ego couldn't handle it. The next morning he drove straight to Ethan's garage. But what he saw shocked him. The once empty parking lot was now full of customers. Classic cars lined the entrance. Luxury vehicles waited for restoration. Television crews interviewed satisfied clients. Employees worked inside a newly expanded workshop. Victor walked toward Ethan. I've changed my mind. Ethan looked up. About what? Those cars. You gave them to me. I want 50%. Ethan calmly smiled. You signed ownership papers. Victor's face turned red. I underestimated their value. You underestimated mine. Silence filled the garage. Customers watched carefully. Victor tried another approach. I'll buy your business. No. I'll double your profits. No. I'll make you rich. Ethan looked around the busy garage. I'm already rich. Victor laughed. You call this rich? Ethan pointed toward Lily, who was laughing while helping customers. I own my business. I answer to nobody. My daughter grows up watching honest work. I sleep peacefully every night. Tell me. Which one of us is actually richer? Victor had no answer. Days later, Harrington Motors announced a new restoration division. It failed within 6 months. The company hired expensive consultants. Robots. Luxury equipment. High-tech software. Nothing worked. They could copy Ethan's workshop. But they couldn't copy his experience. His patience. Or his passion. Months later, an international automotive company contacted Ethan. Instead of buying his garage, they offered something completely different. We want to partner with you. They invested millions into expanding his restoration business while allowing Ethan to remain the owner. The abandoned warehouse next door became a state-of-the-art restoration center. Young mechanics applied from across the country to learn from him. Ethan hired people who struggled to find second chances. Former soldiers. Young apprentices. Single parents. People everyone else had overlooked. Just like those junk cars. One afternoon, Victor quietly returned. This time there were no cameras. No assistants. No expensive suit. He simply stood outside watching Ethan teach new mechanics. Finally, he walked over. I owe you an apology. Ethan remained silent. Victor continued. I judged everything by appearance. You judged by potential. I saw scrap. You saw value. Ethan smiled slightly. Machines aren't the only things people underestimate. Victor nodded. I know that now. Before leaving, he asked one final question. If you had known those cars would make millions, would you still have taken them? Ethan looked across the workshop filled with hardworking people. I didn't accept them because they were worth millions. I accepted them because I knew they still had purpose. Victor quietly smiled. For the first time in years. I think I finally understand success. As the sun set behind the enormous new workshop, Lily walked beside her father. Dad? Yes. Do you know why everyone keeps winning when they meet you? Ethan smiled. They don't. What do you mean? I simply remind them that things only become worthless when people stop believing they can be rebuilt. Lily hugged him tightly. The garage that everyone once laughed at had become one of the most respected restoration companies in the country. And it all started with something everyone else called junk. Like and subscribe.